Hey guys, how's it going? It's on Fur here, and welcome to another episode of Subscriber Loadouts. In this series, I use loadouts suggested by you guys. You suggest the loadouts in the comment section of previous episodes of this series. I select one, go and play around with it for a couple days, then I come back here and tell you what I think of the loadout. This week's loadout comes in the infamous 2900, and I suggested the Medic Sniper, a Mark 11 Mod 0 with an ACOG scope, a heavy barrel, and a stubby grip. For a sidearm, we're going to have a naked 93R. For our first gadget, we're going to have the first aid pack. For the second gadget, we're going to have the defibrillator. And for our grenade, we're going to have the Argo Impact. Alright, so let's get started. With our primary weapon, the Mark 11, it's a pretty good DMR. It's extremely popular, and for obvious reasons. It has pretty good range, used like any other DMR. It will most of the time be a 3-shot to kill, except when you get a headshot, then it will be a 2-shot. Another reason why people may use this weapon is that it has a fast reload time. You'll probably never get caught off guard or reloading with this weapon unless you decide to reload just in front of an enemy, which I don't think you can do that. Probably the biggest disadvantage the DMRs have overall is that they have a pretty slow fire rate, and because of the slow fire rate, you want to make sure that you don't miss any of your shots. You know, it's better to take someone down with just 3 initial shots instead of them turning around and trying to shoot you. You would just have a harder time while you're being suppressed. But now let's move on to the attachments we're going to have on the weapon. For our optic, we're going to have the ACOG scope, which is pretty nice, especially for a DMR, because you have a pretty effective range, so you could really use that ACOG scope to work. I found it pretty useful when I was shooting at guys at long range. At close range, you're gonna find it kind of hard to hit them with the ACOG. So at close range, I decided to use my pistol most of the time. Now moving on to the barrel we're going to have on this weapon, we have the heavy barrel. The heavy barrel will improve your accuracy, but it will take a penalty to your stability, adding an additional muscle climb. So you're going to have more accuracy, but you're going to have a bit more muscle climb. I actually didn't notice that much muscle climb, but it might have been because of the slow fire rate of the weapon, that I'm not constantly spamming bullets out. So maybe that's why I didn't notice it that much. For the underbarrel we're going to have on this weapon, we're going to have the stubby grip. The stubby grip will improve our accuracy by reducing the automatic fire penalty by 15%. And I actually didn't find this to be that useful, mostly because we don't have an automatic mode on this weapon. So yeah, I recommend you guys go with another grip, because I don't think the stubby grip is a good grip for a DMR. You could definitely find you something better. Alright guys, now moving on to the sidearm we're going to have on this loadout, we're going to have the naked 93R. The 93R is an excellent secondary weapon. It has a magazine of 20. It has some good fire accuracy, just like most of the other pistols. It has respectable stability, and it shoots an extremely high fire rate, firing at 1100 rounds per minute. So the 93R, it's always a good sidearm to have. It was extremely useful, especially in situations where I got in close range. I need to take out 1 or 2 guys pretty quickly. It was excellent at doing that, especially because of the ACOG we had in the Mark 11. That made it kind of difficult to shoot at enemies at close range. The 93R definitely made those situations a bit more easier for me. So overall guys, the 93R is still a pretty good weapon, even when you run the gun without any attachments on it. Alright, now moving on to the first gadget we're going to have on this loadout. We're going to have the first aid pack. The first aid pack is a single-use medic pack that slowly heals you and your teammates. And so it's pretty much just like a medic bag, just that it won't heal you during combat. Well, the medic bag does. So I recommend you guys take the medic bag. It's just kind of more useful than the first aid pack. Alright guys, now moving on to the second gadget we're going to have on this loadout, we're going to have the defibrillator. You guys know what the defibrillator is for. It's just to revive down teammates. And it's just something that every good medic should have, because that's why you're there. You are a medic. You need to help your team by reviving them and providing them with health. Anyways, now moving on to the grenade we're going to have on this loadout, we're going to have the Argo Impact. The Argo Impact will explode shortly after impacting with a surface, which could definitely make this grenade extremely useful in some situations. You can use bounce it off the wall. As soon as it hits the wall, it'll probably hit your enemy. If it's there, of course. You can just throw grenades at walls and expect to get a hit marker. For example, if there's an enemy right next to a wall, you don't even have to throw the grenade at him. You can just throw it at the wall. As soon as it makes contact with the wall, or at least shortly after it makes contact with the wall, it will explode, causing your enemy damage. It could kill him if he's damaged, because the Argo Impact has a smaller blast radius, so you always gotta keep that in mind as well. So yeah, guys, it could be extremely useful in some situations. Sometimes it cannot, because sometimes when you throw a grenade and you set something, I would use it blow up and it might not even reach its target. So there's that as a downside of the Argo impact, as well as the smaller blast radius, of course. Anyways, guys, that's it for this loadout. I was really satisfied with this loadout. I think it's gonna get the thumbs up for being pretty good loadout. I could change a bit of things, mostly the grip and the medic bag. And before I finish this video, guys, I would like to tell you that the loadout series, it's coming to an end. Yes, I am gonna stop the loadout series for some time, at least until Battle for Hardline is released. Then it will start back up. I just feel that, you know, this series has had enough episodes in Battlefield 4, and I just feel like it's time to stop it, at least for some time. So there will be one more episode. So if you want to comment another loadout, you do that in the comment section, and it might be the last episode. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.